club football returns, jam-packed schedule, of course. We know after that is the Champions League schedule coming around the corner as well. So before we get into it, who has impressed you so far? We're talking Premier League now.
You know, it's been a great season thus far. It's quite tight at the top, Jess, but of course, the Reds have been looking exceptionally well. And of course, Chelsea. I know at the beginning of the season, I tipped Liverpool and Chelsea to finish first and second, and everyone said I'm mad. Yeah. But like at the moment, if the season was to end tomorrow, like, you know, it would look like that.
Our season's done in October. But I mean, a couple of weeks ago, a lot of viewers of ours don't know that, you know, you said it in a private conversation that, you know, when Liverpool played Manchester City, you said that these two teams are so clear above everyone else. Now, Liverpool, if you put it into perspective, they drew against Manchester City at home. They drew against Chelsea at home. So that's 4 points dropped from a possible 6. What's your thoughts on that?
The thing is, you know, what I've learned over the years, I remember I walked into the SBN office, Soccer Betting News office, in October last year before Van Dijk's injury, and I told the editor, Chad Nagel, the league is over, Chad. That's the biggest mistake.
Meaning Liverpool have no chance?
No, meaning Liverpool. I said before Van Dijk's injury, and I said, Chad, the league is over. We can just give us a trophy now. And then 1 week later, Van Dijk had almost a career-ending injury, and we were messed up for the whole season. And I think
to bounce back
from that and to come back to where we are now, I think that, you know, we're looking good, and it's too early to call because, you know, there's still 31 matches to go. I think that we'll start seeing after the Christmas break, everything will start, you know, unfolding and everyone will see their true colors. But the way Liverpool and that game was the reason why everybody loves English football.
Because you mentioned Liverpool, you mentioned Chelsea, you mentioned fighting for the league. I think it's going to be disrespectful if we don't mention Manchester City.
Of course.
They seem to have turned the corner now. They've conceded just, I think, 3 goals all season. They are the champions. They've reached the Champions League final last season. They look right now the most impressive team.
I won't say so. I mean, they sold Aguero. Don't ask me what they were thinking there. They replaced him with Jack Grealish. He's only cutting and cutting and cutting. And everybody knows he's
cutting, not pasting.
Exactly, my point. So, like, Jack is an amazing player, of course. I think he's fantastic. But when he's playing too wide on the left-hand side, the way City play, they use their lines. Like, they use the lines.
Is that where Phil Foden comes in?
That's where Phil Foden was magnificent against Liverpool. But in saying that, like, there's going to come a time where you need that man, that prolific goal scorer, which they don't have.
Well, they've got an excellent defense. Is that going to save them? I mean, you know, Salah scored 22 goals when Liverpool won the league.
It's a tough one because City, they need, like, practice makes perfect for them. So after, like, 18 games, like, it's going to be very hard to beat them in that second half of the season. You know, once the rhythm is rolling, like how we saw last season, they were untouchable towards January, February, March last year. And but it's going to be quite interesting. At the moment, you'll have to look at Liverpool and at City and look at Chelsea and say, who can play better football than them at the moment? And the answer is no one.
You seem to love Liverpool and Chelsea, or there's, you know, something about those two teams that I feel that, you know, you're rubbing off. Those are your two favorites for the title. So they play Brentford and Watford this weekend, rather. Watford, you know, coming off that, you know, sacking their coach now, appointing Ranieri, you know, the early kickoff against Liverpool, some say avoided. And then, of course, the mighty Brentford face Chelsea. So could there be an upset regarding those two fixtures?
I think, you know, Brentford play with a lot of passion, and
especially at home.
Brentford are playing at home, and one thing I noticed, and no one picked it up against Liverpool, they came with they did those championship tactics, soak the pitch, like those type of tactics. I remember those days when Kaizer Chiefs used to go play Manning Rangers in Chatsworth Stadium, and I used to be at the stadium.
Where you were as a ball boy.
Where I was as a ball boy, and then you would wonder why the ball wasn't, you know, skidding off the turf. But those were like the tactics that are deployed by the lower teams. So because they know when teams come there to play carpet football, let's use the long ball. And they know that Liverpool are a short team, but that's part of the game. In cricket as well, when a subcontinent team comes, South Africa will prepare a quick pitch because they know that the Indian batsman can't deal with that. That's just the way sport works. And I would assume that Chelsea's game would have to change, but they have a talisman up front in the form of Lukaku, who they can be pinging the balls into. And I think that Chelsea, it'll be tough for Chelsea, but they'll get the job done.
Tough for Liverpool?
Not at all.
Well, that is the thoughts of myself, Jason Nagel, and of course, Venal Naidu. For more content, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Venal, until next week.
Until next week, just have a good weekend and hope you make some money, man.
Cheers.
Yeah.
For more soccer betting tips and previews, get your latest copy of Soccer Betting News for only 10 Rand at your nearest Hollywood Bets branch or news agent.